part of the reason that I've been hesitant to make certain comments on this case publicly, and why I'm holding my powder, is because I've seen time and time again the original narrative that gets set into the media, whether on the left, typically on the left, because this race-related crimes are sort of the province of the left. They have been. I think that's changing now. But I've seen hands up, don't shoot, go up in flames. I've seen sort of the original narrative, in other cases, go up in flames. We've even seen, even when it comes to George Floyd, people go from saying, we see the video, to now certain commentators, particularly on the right, saying, no, George Floyd, Derek Chauvin.
This is alleged to be a hair trigger situation where this kid responded to some sort of hand on him, trying to remove him from the spot where Austin and his brother and friends were watching a game. And let's go with the worst possible interpretation. Austin is a racist, which, by the way, there is zero support for. Some left-wing loons got that going on X, and I hope you all face defamation lawsuits.
Yes, here we go again. I don't know if you've seen this. Fresco releases video of track meet involving Karmelo Anthony and Austin. Extremely concerning. A lot of people are putting out videos on this. When you take a look at this article, the video begins several minutes before the altercations between Karmelo Anthony and Austin. The camera positioned near the press box capture half of the view at the stadium. The tent where the incident occurred is located in the bleachers near the 50-yard line. Due to the camera's distance, individuals are not easily identifiable. I don't know what exactly these people are struggling to hide here, but it is important we take an exclusive look into what is going on exactly. At a certain point, I didn't want to go into details, posting this because of this platform. I will play some videos before we go into that. Take a look at this.
A lot of the black people that I see you over here defending Karmelo Anthony, I'm looking at you funny as hell, because I know, and you know, that if the roles were reversed, you would not be having that same energy. You would not be singing that same tune. Oh, he got what he deserved. He fucked around and found out. That's why you don't put your hands on nobody, blah, blah, blah. You would be the same people protesting in the streets. He didn't need to use excessive force. He killed him because he's racist. That's a hate crime. He needs to go to prison, blah, blah, blah. And we're not buying it. Because we know now, this is proof that you don't operate out of a moral compass. You operate out of a racial loyalty. And that's pathetic and it's dangerous. You operate out of if they look like me, that's enough. I'm standing by them. It doesn't matter what somebody could do or how much they should be held accountable or what horrid or disgusting actions that they have committed, their character or what they got going on. It does not matter. If they have your same skin tone, you're standing by them. And the rest of us, we see right through it. It's pathetic. You have lost all credibility.
For those black people who are attacking the civilized black person, calling them a race traitor, porch, uncle, yada, 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 guess which black person you are here in the United States? Ones, the one that nobody wants around, that we have all problems with, because what you do, you support crime. You're not wanted anywhere because you don't know how to act, and you want to go ahead and act that way when a civilized person because of the whole Karmelo Anthony situation? Come on, yo. Really? It's the same thing that happens in the Hispanic community. When there's a Hispanic issue going on and you want to attack the civilized Hispanic, you want to call them a race traitor, you want to be white. Why? Because we don't allow, because we got the same skin color? We got to act stupid together or what? Right is right and wrong is wrong. Karmelo Anthony is guilty and he will be proven guilty. You'll see. And for all those civilized people that know what's right and what's wrong, I applaud you. And I'm sure your kids will have a better future than those degenerate people who always will support crime.
Team producer Kelsey Mittauer to watch that video. She joins us now in studio to walk us through what you saw. We're going to go in order here in just a second, Kelsey. But in general terms, what did the video depict? What did you see?
Yes. When you take a look at this whole situation and this video, you can clearly see that these people are hiding something. That is the truth. Yes. Race baiters are actually, really in support that the video should not be released. I've seen a lot of things happening, and when I watch this video, I'm about to show you, it clearly tells me one thing. I will not talk much. If you have been following this channel, you realize I've been reporting on this topic for months now, waiting for the trial to actually see the end result of this. There are some people that struggle every single time to discourage me from covering this topic, but I won't stop because I devoted myself to bring out situations like these. For this now, I'm not able to upload videos because I was struggling to put up clips about this issue in California, but every single day YouTube keep taking down the clips. Reason I stay off.
Right. So I started watching about 9:53. The camera shows half of the field. So it's about from the 50-yard line on, and the tent where it happened was kind of right in front of the 50-yard line, but the camera is down here.
Okay.
It's positioned across the field. So everybody in the video, you can tell there are kids or adults, but no one's identifiable.
So a long shot is what
a long shot, yeah.
So a couple of minutes in, and you actually see the altercation take place.
Yes, everything leading up to it, everyone's milling about. It seems very normal, and then right at 9:55, that's when there's this explosive movement or action between two people under the tent, and that's when the employees in the room told me that's when the 9:55.
Right, and you were talking about people kind of start to scatter at that moment. Obviously, something went wrong. And so what happens next? Because now, a little bit later on, that's when the ambulance shows up.
Right. So when the ambulance arrives, it actually comes through near the end zone at the gate, and then it comes up to the 50-yard line directly in front of the tent. You can see Austin Metcalf is right here. But then when they pull up close to the tent, they realize that they can't get the stretcher to him because of the barrier of the bleachers. So at that point, then the paramedics have to get out, and then they have to walk all the way back to the end zone. This is actually, in the next slide. They have to go all the way back to the end zone and then come all the way back. That takes another couple of minutes. So at this point, they've arrived and they are actively working on Metcalf at that point.
And we want to reiterate, we're using some imagery here to sort of denote exactly what was happening here, these little icons that were using the ambulance, because, again, the video was not able to be released. You're watching all of this happen, Kelsey, and you're watching the time sort of elapse. What are you thinking about when you see this, especially when you see sort of the issues in getting Metcalf out of there?
I mean, I understand why it happened the way it happened. They were still working on him, actually. The thing that really struck me is they're working on him, and that's when you see the rain's coming down heavier, and then they actually pull out the blue tarp.
The blue tarp that we saw.
Right, and then I noticed the crime scene tape is already up. I was so focused on here, I didn't even see that, but they're building the crime scene actively around him as they're continuing to work on him in the bleachers.
So that was happening while he was still there?
Yes, he's in the bleachers.
And in closing here, because we know that several minutes had elapsed, and people are sort of scurrying in different areas, what do we know about the suspect in this, Karmelo Anthony, and his whereabouts?
So I asked the women in the room, the employees, I said, of everybody on this screen, is Karmelo Anthony in here? And they said, we couldn't tell you, we don't know. And honestly, it was so hard. Once it happened, there's people going this way, that way, this way, and this way. So it was just hard to know what direction he headed.
These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I asked, because these...
Yes, I believe you heard him. The video will not be released. They are just demonstrating what they saw. They actually came with a video. I don't know if some people actually watched that, but it will not be released to the public for reasons I don't get it. So descriptions they are putting out, it is actually what they saw, they witnessed, and I'll be updating you on what exactly is going on, because at this time, I'm still confused. If you love what I'm doing here, please subscribe, and if possible, share the video.
Said something racist. No one's alleging that. And that Karmelo Anthony got upset and said, yeah, I'm not leaving. and then said, go ahead, make me. And Austin Metcalf laid hands on him to make him. You still cannot pull in. You, A, cannot be the person who provoked the attack on you, in response to which you used a knife. And so he can't claim self-defense for that reason. And
people line up for my advice, and you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like,
why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize?
why marriage, infertility, trying to have kids makes things difficult. It's like
she's seriously depressed about how hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Karmelo to run. He had
100.
Has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you.
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything. And then the
Registration Act is
talking about
Term, and you will be very.
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
how bad is his reputation going to be?
I've seen in my lifetime